Listen to this. This is the holy ground of DAD. Please come with me. So we start in the early days. This is made, I think this is the first poster that we made ourselves. So I think this is 84. At one point in 84. That's like, we had this guy, somebody knew someone who made posters. So we was like, how can we get it? So we had to wait and had to press it in the night because it was cheaper. So it's like, it was very in the very beginning. And then the next step.
But a question, have you thought about getting that haircut back?
My haircut is more or less the same. It's just, it was just not long enough. But look at how look at these young guys. That's young bucks, and you can also see the cow skull in its incarnation as a bicycle saddle and steering. So that was like a cow skull that Pablo Picasso made. So that we nicked that thing. Okay, next place. Okay, while we are walking all the way down to the next poster, this is some kind of try to get a hold of how many songs do we have, which songs should be on the next set list, and this is like a whiteboard where you write on it with the pens that you can wipe off. We forgot that, so this is all.
So these are pretty much
this
all
is
the DADs.
Permanent marker, and we can never get it off. So we have to buy new whiteboards just to get on with our lives. Okay, come this way. So here's one maybe 3-4 years old. That's also like, to find out, okay, where have we been? Where shouldn't we come back to? And then this is like the second international album. And that was like, you can see, there was some demands. Okay, these guys are poster boys. And this picture went when we went on our second American tour. And when we got to San Francisco. We've been traveling on a long tour from New York to San Francisco. And as everybody knows, the food in America is very good. And there's a lot of melted cheese. So when we got to San Francisco, all the gays and so homosexual men who's been looking forward to these cheekbones were so disappointed. Because we ended up coming on stage like this.
20 kilos heavier from all the cheese.
And this is funny because Laust sits over there at the drums. Please, sir. Yes, that's where he sits. And every day he has to sit and look at Peter. So, just to get, then he introduced himself in some kind of art setting, so that he can always like look a little right and see himself. This is from our 30th anniversary, where we were sponsored by a local a Danish brewery, and they were so sweet to make a anniversary beer, 30-year.
Was it good?
Beer. It was just the normal Royal, which is people love that normal Pilsner. I do not, but people love that ordinary Pilsner. So that was great. Stuff over here, come, my friend. Going on tour, you need to. DAD has a long and lovely history of doing something stupid. Right at the moment, we are doing the carousel, merry-go-round as a drum riser, which is people are cracking up and pissing themselves in laughing. But we've done this for 40 years, and we've have this thing about ambition about doing something stupid every time. And this is not very stupid, but this is how we just find out how to do it. Now, what are we doing? So this was like a concert series from 5 years ago, and it was for another local brewery in Denmark, and this one was out here in the audience, if you see, and then me and Jacob stood up here and was playing Laugh and Half in the audience on a beer crate, which was very big. So that's like a little bit of what's going on in here. So And then you've got all kinds of Christmas cards. That's also this corner we've painted ourselves into, that we have to make a Christmas card every year, and nobody sends out mail, and but they love it.
Do you send the Christmas cards to friends and family?
No, to fans and friends and family. Yeah.
Grandmas.
Yeah. This is where Jacob lives out his art. This is where Laust's art is being made. And this is our demo mic. All that we do here, we say, okay, let's record it. Instead of fight about who's got the best riff, we just record it. It's a trick to... and here, Stig's place. And I'm here.
That's your place.
That's my place. Here's where our art is. Art's being made.
Wow. Well, I can understand that you meet up here like 5 days a week. This must be your, getaway zone and just feeling amazing.
Definitely. It's really, when you do it many days in a row, suddenly you lose sense of framing, you lose sense of time, and suddenly you get closer and closer to what it's all about. And start to be a little unconscious about where you are and what you're doing, just to let it flow. But it takes a while to get into that zone. I mean, we've got lives parallel to this, but this is holy ground, free space.
Well, how do you combine being a rock star and family life?
The thing is, we were lucky that we were rock stars before we started a family. So it was like that was the groundwork in the whole rock and roll thing was already there. So it was like, okay, this is the deal. And
comes with the package.
Yeah. And it's also at the level that DAD is on, you can actually really fix. Of course, when you're out on a 7-week tour, that's a 7-week tour, but you can mingle, you can do stuff that makes everybody happy.
Yeah. Well, I have to, and I know that you're watching also need to see and hear this guy playing a little bit of guitar.
So this is just a normal amplifier and a normal guitar in a sense, but it's also become my trademark. And look at this funny stuff, idiot stuff. This is, for instance, part of one of our bad ideas. So look at this. Suddenly, I've been made into a cartoon figure. This is stupid. But that's when reality becomes legend. When daily life becomes cartoon. And then this just this.
I can see in your eyes when you pick up the guitar, the pick and everything and start playing, you become like a god.
This is my language. This is me.
Yeah. Can you play all the instruments?
I can play everything. You don't want to hear it, I can promise you.
But you could if you wanted.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it's simple stuff. I mean, rock and roll should be simple. Just talk to Stones about that. It should be simple.
Yeah.
It's very important that you keep it primal. You keep it not relatable, because that's not. I don't think relatable is the right word, but you need to keep it. Yeah, you bypass the head, bypass the intellect, get to the heart, and get to the stomach, or maybe even get to the
other parts. Yeah. So I'm thinking we should definitely go into this. We need to see some more places of Copenhagen. I mean, we're in the studio now.
I will invite you to the place where No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims was recorded. The studio itself, where we all four stood around a mic and said, "Jihad, I'm getting mad, and there's no fuel left for the Pilgrims." Was that okay? No, take it again. It wasn't okay. That was where stuff like that happened. We go there, and on our way there, when we get there, we'll say hello to Mike Tramp, which is another Danish rock god.
Situated in the very heart of Copenhagen, Medley Studios is known for its unique atmosphere and exceptionally well-equipped recording areas. It has an impressive client list of major international artists and producers like Keane, Prince, Radiohead, Mark Morrison, All Saints, and this is also where DAD has recorded many of its hit songs.
This is fucking legendary. This way, please. We are now in the middle of Copenhagen, West End Copenhagen. It's called Vesterbrogade. We are at the Medley Studios. I mean, everybody has recorded here. Prince has recorded here. Everybody's been recording here. But this is also the place where DAD's made most of the best-selling albums. This is the place where all of No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims and all of Risk and All was recorded. You ready?
Wow.
This is the Medley Studios. Come on in.
Thank you.
Legendary place. So, at the moment we're lucky, there's no one here, so you cannot imagine how many hours I've been spending in this couch, sleeping,
Sleeping your day away.
recording stuff and listening, and so this is totally where I sleep my day away, and Jihad, all the No Fuel Left for the Pilgrims was made, and Risk and All was made as well, and then later a couple of albums more or less made here as well. This way. Now we're going into a new studio, also the place where I recorded my solo stuff. We're gonna say hello to Mike Tramp and Søren Andersen. Come on in. Come on in. This is the place where I stood. I stood here. I'm sleeping my day away. So, but we're now totally ruining work for everyone else. This is Kenny. This is Tramps.
Hi. Hey. Mathias.
Come on in.
Kenny.
Say hello.
Nice to meet you.
This is Søren.
Hola,
He's
¿cómo estás?
the producer of my show.
Hold da kæft, kommer du nu og forstyrrer, mand? Nej, jamen, jeg har briller på, mand. Og vent da, TV.
This is Pirate Rock Radio aus Gothenburg, but he's doing some
Svensker.
Svensker.
Det er jævla Hello, svensk.
They're doing something on YouTube. So this is like a.
Also, it's international.
Yeah, this is Tell Us Rock.
Oh,
the YouTube channel.
Yeah. So this is
Hey, son.
so this Matthias, he's the head of.
Hallo, Mathias.
Pirate
Hello.
Radio Rock, and he's like a promoter in Gothenburg. So
Hi.
he knows all about this. We're so sorry that we're coming here, but on the other hand.
It's time to get started.
Yeah, show us the real Rockstar stuff.
Yeah,
How is it really made?
Yeah, that's why you came in through the back door.
Exactly. What's happening here now? Tell us. Recording some new...
rock and roll was once rock and roll. Now rock and roll has become half country, half pop.
That's what he said. How DAD started playing some kind of country.
We're just surviving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we're getting older and branching out. You know. I realize too that the audience is not 24 anymore.
Yeah, well,
and not everybody handles guitar solos every single day, so we got to get some different.
But
stuff.
is there a new record coming up? I mean,
Well,
I know that you're going on tour.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, this is I kind of separate my life like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
You know, now you can figure out who I am right now.
Yeah.
I have the re-recording of the Big White Lion songs coming out where I jump back into my '80s pants and go out and sing those songs. And then once in a while, when I just want to relax and play for other kind of people, I sing in Danish now.
Oh, you're singing Danish?
Yeah, I sing in Danish. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That's what I thought too.
That's a really good move.
Yeah, I know. It could not be. It's only because it's so right over there where the other stuff is left.
Yeah.
So you actually, when we do this over here, and while we're doing this right now, you're actually now looking forward to go out and do 80s rock.
Of course.
Because you've been doing this.
Well, it's
And the
it's
other way, vice versa.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Off with the tight pants and back into
Yeah,
something
yeah,
baggy
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And tra-la-lu-la-la.
But you will be playing this White Lion tour,
Yeah.
starting. Or
Well,
has it already started this year?
Yeah, no, it's starting April 14th in
April
Germany,
14th,
and then
okay.
I'm playing the US, and then I'll be in Sweden Rock June 9th.
We know all
Yeah.
about that. Trust
Yeah.
me, it's gonna be
Please
amazing.
open the bridge.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Oh,
We will.
shit. We
So,
should have
but,
been
so
there by now.
this album, I mean, we talked a couple of times on the radio show for the last record you released, I think. But this one will be in Danish. When will we hear, the first single?
Well, it'd be great if the Swedes also heard it. And
They
this
will.
album's not coming out before 24. Right now, the year 23 is the songs of White Lion.
Oh, okay.
The songs of White Lion.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Can you sing a little bit of something in Danish so we know what it's gonna
Like,
sound like?
how about the Eurovision Song Contest I won with in 78?
That will be amazing.
No. I have to stop him now. Now he's digging his grave
Thank you,
again.
brother Jesper. That's why you need a manager. It's just, what a stupid question.
He's managing
What's the
that
request?
here now, telling you
No,
now.
I don't think anybody wants to hear this. I think that this is like the Danish smorgasbord.
Yeah.
Okay, that you start with the fish, and if you make it down to the risalamang, you're lucky. Okay,
Oh, I love it.
these
guy-
things
and
don't
Matthias
have
is
anything
going,
to do
yes,
with
of
each
course,
other.
yeah, I
But
totally get what you're
but
saying.
both Soren and Jesper stuff like it, we're still songwriters,
Yeah.
and we're still love music, and as the music business in itself, I mean record stores and stuff like that, has almost disappeared.
Yeah.
We're not done writing songs, but we can release music every day, so we have to, somehow get rid of it. It's like empty ourselves with it. So we record it, and then, maybe in the future we put it out and stuff like that. But it's nice to go into the studio and still feel what it was like when we discovered and fell in love with not just rock and roll, but music in general. And especially on, this is my second album in Danish, we revisit a lot of our early heroes from the 60s and the 70s before the new wave of British heavy metal put us sort of in a box. So here we actually, you could find that we will be mentioning ABBA, we will be mentioning Dean Martin during the same recording session. I can tell you we didn't mention that in 1987 when White Lion was recording the Pride album, but here we are because we do love great songwriters and great albums, and now in our old age, it is about the quality of the music.
Yeah. Well, we know that you have done some very, very, very nice music. So
And then
trust
you go
me, I
out
look
and-
forward to the Danish stuff. Trust
Exactly,
me.
and then you go out on stage, and then, like Angus Young once said, maybe many times he said the same thing. It's great to go into the studio and record new music, but when you go out on stage, people want to hear the old shit.
Yeah, well,
and
that's
it's
how it
just
is.
a fact. The festival shows and what I plan to do for the future, when it comes to live concerts and stuff like that, is I go out and I play the White Lion songs as close to the original ones. It's not a new career. It's just playing the old songs that I wrote 35 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and you've done it
Yeah,
very,
I'm
very
looking,
good.
and now because of doing this kind of stuff, I'm actually looking forward to do the songs. And I think when people see me walk out on stage singing these songs,
Yeah.
they will see in my face, I want to be here.
Yeah. Well, that's great. It's nice meeting you and coming into this.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
this is rock history. This is music history.
Yeah, it is. It
I mean,
is.
you can see Kim Larsen. You can see pretty much anything here. This
This
it's
is also
amazing.
one of the places.
And
where
who's that? Just Jesper Binzer.
Yeah,
Guy
I know.
is easy.
Yeah, no,
you know
it's
that guy?
It's an upcoming YouTube star.
A YouTube
Yeah,
star.
he's an influencer.
He's an influencer.
Yeah, he
Okay, yeah, I've heard
influenced
about
me.
him. This long hair guy, right?
The last to keep it.
The last to keep
The rest of us had to surrender to the hairdresser.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot for taking time. This was amazing.
My pleasure.
Yeah, well,
Hello
look-
to everyone. Was it Pirate Radio?
No, tell us rock.
Oh, tell us, Rock. Well, I should have known that. How are you?
we're in Copenhagen now, but we're not in the middle of Copenhagen, not in the city center area.
No.
Where exactly are we now?
We are now on Paradise Island.
Paradise Island.
Yes, no, this is Amager. This is where the good thing about Amager. This is where the airport is, so you can get away quickly. No, this is part of Copenhagen where I live.
Okay.
So, and this is Amager, and there's a special culture out here, and I'm sure the most cities has like the same places. This is a place where you go to, and then when you're out here, you don't want to go back into the city.
Yeah.
Okay. We just.
Well, I can imagine it. This is an amazing place.
We're now at Ingolf's Coffee Bar, which is my favorite hangout.
Okay. So is this the neighborhoods that you grew up?
No, yeah, I've been moving around.
Okay.
So I've been living on Amager for the past, 20 years.
20 years, okay.
Yeah.
But you lived in Denmark your whole life, or did you try the rockstar life in LA?
Never tried. I've been a Copenhagener all my life.
Okay. So, you were 17 years old when you started DAD, pretty much. And before that, how did you get in touch with music? How did you start playing music?
I think that mainly it was the whole culture around skateboarding.
It was skateboarding.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely, because before skateboarding there was of course Sweden Slade and What Happened and Queen. That was part of my menu of music that I was into at that point. But skateboard really had a big cultural impact in the sense that all the alternative, all the skate punk, all kinds of outlaw activities were going on around there, and it was exactly the same time as punk evolved. So it was, I'd say that this whole skateboard thing that whole culture, we brought this into DAD. This is still a small skateboard team in many, many ways.
But looking at your childhood, when it comes to school and everything, were you successful in school, or did you focus on music or skateboarding only?
I grew up in a nuclear family with my brother.
Okay.
Our father was a professor in the university. Our mother was taking care of children in kindergarten. So they were exactly too old to be part of the 1968 revolution, but exactly young enough to look at it from the outside.
Yeah.
And so it was a perfect place because they didn't take off into self-exploration and drugs. They left that to their kids. No. So we had a lovely childhood in that sense.
Okay.
As I told you, my father was a professor.
Yeah.
And he told me and Jacob, when he saw that we weren't reading books, he said, "Guys, I've been going to school all my life. You don't have to if you don't want to." So
that's nice.
So we didn't even get past high school, but that was because music happened.
Yeah, well, you succeeded anyway, so I think you did a good choice. Well, looking at Danish rock music today, there's a lot of bands from the past, of course, as well, but we're talking everything from like Volbeat, King Diamond, Merciful Fate, we have Lars Ulrich from Metallica, Kim Larsen and Gasoline, the old ones and everything, and of course Mike Tramp, Pretty Mates and everything. Do you, as a Danish rock star as yourself, do you keep in touch with those guys? Are you like this small community of Danish rock stars?
Now I definitely talk to Michael Poulsen whenever I meet him, and talk to Lars Ulrich whenever we meet. But before, you have to remember that DAD was very much part of the punk movement. So we had a hard time, signing up for heavy metal. It took a while, and it took maybe 10 years of German festivals before we got accepted into the metal community.
Okay.
So we've been keeping our own in many ways, and I still relate more to punkers and rock and rollers than to the hard metal in that sense. Now I must say that in metal, that's one of the most exciting music genres at the moment. I extremely love and have a high interest in like Behemoth or in all the where they're really revolutionizing metal. I really love that kind of music now, but it took really a long time.
Yeah, well, that's quite far from the music.
Yeah, but I hold this death and black doom. They are deconstructing music in an intelligent way, and I really, really love to listen to it.
So I mean, when we're talking about playing music nowadays, you have DAD, but you're also involved. I mean, you've done solo projects, and feels like you're involved in many different things in Denmark as well, TV shows and everything. What's most fun doing?
The whole solo thing was a big breakthrough for me because being in a band, it's hard to step outside of it and in a way build up your own identity. I'm really part of the band. On my gravestone, it will say, "I will not cut my hair."
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot outrun that. So in a way, that's, if you look at it at a certain angle, that's freedom, because then I can do whatever. Okay, so because they always drag me back to DAD, and so finding my own identity with the solo albums was a major thing, and it's really been a win-win situation with DAD, because I've been coming with some new kind of self-worth, so to speak, in the rehearsing space. It's been perfect to explore my own creativity and bring that back into DAD.
Yeah, well, it felt like when you released it, I remember talking to you when you released the last record. It felt like you really, really loved doing it.
Yeah.
I've seen you playing it live as well. It's
when I play my solo stuff live, I'm totally into it.
Yeah, well, I can see it. It's an amazing show. It's great. So for the viewers who haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
So some other things that has nothing to do with DAD or that thing, but if you get to host a dinner for 3 persons, you can choose any 3. It could be alive or dead ones or anything. Which 3 would you choose and why?
Wow. Okay, Joe Ramone, Bon Scott, and Phil Lynott.
Can I come? Holy shit! I think that was probably the best dinner table I've heard of. What would you eat? What's your favorite food?
That I must say, on woke, that would be a big steak.
A big steak.
Yeah, it would be a big steak.
That's great. Yeah, well, I'll join if it's okay. and talking about making music today, releasing records, and it's a lot of Spotify and digital music. Do you listen to vinyl music yourself, or how do you listen to music?
No, I do recognize though, because I bought 5 of my favorite AC/DC albums on vinyl, and I went to a friend's house and listened to them on the record player, and I could hear the warmth, and I could hear what people were talking about, but I only ever listen to music on my phone.
Okay.
So this is just the Apple Music for my part, and it's just Bluetoothing or headphones or that's how I do it.
But then, as a writer and as a musician, it's quite a big difference nowadays on how artists make their money. Comparing to the 80s and 90s, where you sold records and everything. Now it's Spotify.
Yeah.
Do you think that the payments are okay nowadays for being a singer-songwriter?
The streaming is definitely not okay. The streaming, what you make in that sense. We're still looking for a revolution in that sense. Yeah. But because the music is available that much, people get a deeper interest in the live experience. So people going to much more, going to concerts, and it's been a great thing to see revenues falling from albums and revenues rising to play live. And it's very funny, because that's the most old-fashioned you could do. That is to play live. It's like the culture for the last 100 years, and it takes talent, to entertain an audience, and it's much more fulfilling to know that's a craft, that's a skill that you can do, because in the studio you can just fake your way all the way home. You can't do that on a stage. So in a way, the future is bright, and I'm all for it. So let's see what happens.
Well, next year is 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
You said. Will there be a 50, 60, and 70 anniversary for DAD?
I think so. I really think so, because it's been, can you stay relevant? And of course you can't, but you can be relevant for your generation. You can be relevant for yourself.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, it should never be the same. It should never be just repetition. It should be something else. You should evolve with your age. You should respect the new chapters in your life and try to make music that fits. And I'm pretty sure D.A.D. could do that.
Yeah, well, I agree, definitely. I mean, let's just aim for 50.
Yeah, exactly.
Year.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I have to do this thing. I mean, we have to see how much of a rock star is Jesper Binzer.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask some questions. These are really serious questions.
Yes.
So I want you to really think about it.
Yeah.
Focus and answer correctly.
Yeah.
And very honest.
Do I win a prize if
yes,
Okay.
You will win a prize.
Okay.
I can't tell the prize right now, but it's a very good prize. How many TV sets have you thrown out from hotel room windows?
I have never thrown out a TV set, but we had a manager once who threw out a lamp of a hotel room.
A lamp?
A lamp. So that was the manager. He was like, "What are you were supposed to be rock stars. Let me show you how to do this." Yeah, but listen, we are gonna pay 80% of that lamp, and you're only gonna pay 20 because that's our deal.
Okay. So, this is a two-part question. First question, of course, since we're in Denmark and it's one of the best beers in the world, which is the best Danish beer?
Okay, I can answer that. That's going to be a long answer. First of all, but top of mind, there's a brewery on Bornholm called Svanike. They make the best, and this is really on rock, the best alcohol-free at all. It's called Don't Worry. Don't worry. That's an alcohol-free. That's a masterpiece. Okay, and then going back, we've got the Mikkeller beer, which is a craft beer, really, really, really crispy, lovely beer, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But beside that, we got 2 øl, also craft beer, really, really good beer. Then you got Open, craft beer, really, really good beer.
And I know where this is going.
Yeah, and I can go on and keep on, but I must say that, for instance, we talked about having a rider, the thing, attachment to the contract. Some people totally misunderstand what's going on and think, these guys are from Denmark. They would be so happy that if we could get a case of Carlsberg.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
No.
Because Carlsberg Tuborg is piss. No, it's urine. No, I have to speak. It's not good.
Okay, so if we take 2 øl or Mikkeller, for example.
Yeah, 2 øl and Mikkeller.
So now we're back to the Rockstar questions again. How fast can you empty a pint of Mikkeller?
A strong IPA, that's Mikkeller, one of the best. Like it's 7% West Coast IPA. I can do that very quickly.
Very quickly?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's 1 point.
Yeah.
Perfect. How many cars do you own?
At the moment, to be honest, there's 3 in the driveway. I don't own any of them. It's all leased. So how do you want to? Points. 3 cars, but at least.
Is one of them a Ferrari or a Lamborghini?
No, that's a Jeep. That's like the most rock. That's a pretty rock.
You're not getting a point for that one. You can
that's
try
a
as
rock
much as you
car.
want.
That's a Rockstar. No, okay.
Okay. So how much cash do you carry in your pockets?
None.
None.
This is Denmark. Everything is digital.
Well, you can still, just carry around 10,000 Danish crowns just for fun.
Course. Yeah, of course, but not.
Okay. Do you play your own songs at home when you're having a party?
No. God forbid.
Like in the middle of the party, someone suddenly is like, "Sleeping my day." Isn't that D.A.D.? And you're like, well, that's fun. Someone turn it on. Okay.
Oh no, please.
So how many groupies do you normally have backstage? 10, 15, 20, 30, 50?
There's somewhere between 5 and 10, but I know them from a long way back. So
well, you're not counting your wife or girlfriend now.
Not. No, there's and also, but they're all around 50, 55 years old.
Okay.
But they are groupies.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's perfect. So how many times have you been arrested?
Once.
Once?
Yeah. I was put in jail for
14 hours.
Was it a bar fight with Tommy Lee in LA?
No, it was simply just me and some pals, me and Stig and Torleif, who was once the fifth member of DAD, still very dear friend to us. We were walking home. We had it was back when there was no internet, so we were walking home from my parents' house where we had rented 3 movies and a movie box in Blockbuster, and watched it and smoked some weed. So in the middle of the night, we walked home from my mom and dad to the place where we lived. And Torleif, which is still the fifth member, he did all the cartoonish DAD thing. He had painted his house, so he had some white painting on his hands. And then the police came, drove up in front of us, and then they saw his hands. And said, so you are part of this beset squatter movement that threw paint on the banks and McDonald's a couple of hours earlier. No. We've just been up at Jesper's parents' house and watch video. And then we got arrested. And then we got in and we were in jail. And you know what? We made a song about it.
You did?
Yeah. You know what it's called?
No.
Counting the Cattle. I mean, we made that song.
I knew you had some gangster in you. Well, that's definitely the point. I give you 2 points for that one, definitely. And now, one of the most important questions of being a rock star. Do you worship Satan?
No.
Men det skulle da Jesper for det, ikke?
Ej. I'm so sorry. I'm too known for this place.
Yeah, I know. This is what happens when you go out with a rock star in Copenhagen. Fuck this.
I do not worship Satan, but I think that you should acknowledge good and evil in that sense. You should be aware that you can go either way. So I think it's a good little picture of the human psyche.
But you listen to some black
Oh yeah, of course, but that's art. That's something else.
That's art. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put down my phone with my questions and everything, and just finish this by saying this has been such a huge honor meeting you like this. We've had the best day ever.
Thank you so much.
Super humble, and everything has been great, and you've shown that you really are the guy that everybody in the industry call like this stand-up.
Who should I
perfect
be otherwise?
Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, this has been amazing.
It has been. It's beautiful. It's lovely.